Hey, you guys. By the way, I'm a huge fan of Wednesday on Netflix. Just saying. Okay, this isn't a paid promotion. I just love the show. I binge watched it when I was in Europe. But anyway, I just wanted to say to you, I thought this was an appropriate filter to begin with on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 3. What in the hell was that finale? And did you see that there was a clip cut of Danna Bui yelling at Jen Shah? They cut it out to downplay Danna in the finale, which leads me to believe Danna's out. Something about her they didn't like, because that's what they do. They, even no matter how much drama you bring at the end, if they don't want you, they downplay your role so they can exit you without the fans being pissed. But this time, people found out when they released, I guess, the missing scene. So let me play it for you, and let's see what you think.
Don't get in my mother face. If I were you, I'd be real nice right now, especially if you want some money on your books.
So it got me thinking, what did Danna mean by on your books, money on your books, that she says? Well, I think what she meant was that Jen Shah was hitting up some of the cast members for money. And maybe she hit up Danna. I don't think they're going to get their money back, unfortunately. Well, you know, it's very religious to be charitable. So it's on theme, on brand with the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So I was really lucky to jump into a fan chat with Danna. And she said some really interesting things, which I wanted to share with you guys. It gave me some insight into Danna. By the way, I've heard from cast members that she's very, very nice. So it started with the fans saying they were really, really upset that the scene you just saw was cut. And why was it cut? And Danna agreed with the fans that she was also very, very upset. She wanted to have a conversation with Jen to hold her accountable. And she was really sad that they cut that scene, I guess, from the main episode of the finale. She was asked if she would go back for another season of Housewives, and Danna said yes, she would do it, but only if it went in a different direction. And the fans said, Danna, it's going to go in a different direction because Jen Shah's going to jail. So that was that. So maybe Danna could come back if she gets an offer. But I'd say since they edited that scene out of the main show, that maybe that's not in the cards. We'll see. So then she wrote this, which I thought was really interesting because it might confirm as to why Jen Shah wasn't at the reunion. Maybe there was some sort of a legal issue with it, because she wrote, the fans wrote, did they talk about the confrontation at the reunion? And she said, nope, I think it had to do something with the courts. So there's Danna spilling some tea. So then Danna took to Instagram to tell her side of the story after the conversation I just shared with you. Hello, everyone. I've received a lot of questions in my DMs from you guys asking me why they didn't show my confrontation with Jen or why my appearance in the last episode was minimal. I just want to remind everyone that I have no control of how they decide to edit the show. I wanted to give more insight on what happened that night. There was a build-up to that confrontation that was played in the trailer. I wanted to have a conversation with her about her being one way around us and another way around her husband, and why she wasn't taking accountability for her behavior and actions. She was also making fun of where I live, making fun of my hair. She was calling my husband different Spanish names that were clearly not his name, and that was very disrespectful. I don't know why so much time was wasted filming her lies about being innocent when we all know how that ended up. I agree, Danna. Very annoying and frustrating. And I just said that recently. Jen didn't like what I was saying, and in her usual Jen reaction, she got in my face and tried to yell and dismiss and bark, bark, bark. I said the difference between you and me is that you bark and I bite, and I ain't the one bitch. I've always been one to call it like I see it, and it's frustrating that you all didn't get to see what really happened, but it's all good. I just want to thank everyone that has been so supportive. I would imagine that what Jen Shah was making fun of with Danna was that Danna lives like an hour away from the other women and not in the hoity-toity part that they live in. But, I mean, you know, but why was Jen coming for Danna? Interessant. I'd say because she thought she was her replacement. In the after show of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City Season 3, Danna, I think, it describes what her storyline was for the entire season. Some, was made it in the edit and some didn't. So let me play it for you.
Apparently, Jen was like, well, I would have invited you if you didn't call me a bully.
Yeah, I would invite you, except I heard you were talking girl.
And I said, yes, I did call you a bully, and I did. I told Jen that.
I don't tolerate stuff like that.
But for this to affect Jen that much, why? Why do you think it affected her so much?
She doesn't like being called out for being a bully.
She don't like to be called out for nothing. But somebody needs to call her out.
Yes.
Because her behavior is not acceptable.
So the rumor is that a few of the ladies tried to call out Jen on this season, but the producers didn't want it. They wanted to see the women be friends with Jen going through this process. So I think, unfortunately, Danna was trying to be like a real person in a reality show with her real beliefs. And the producers weren't that interested in that storyline. And she didn't figure it out in time, or they didn't tell her that they weren't that into it. So they just zoned her out, because I heard that the producers were not supporting storylines against Jen this season. It's just saying. It's gossip. So you guys tell me, how do you feel about production controlling things to that level? How do you feel about Danna Bui-Negrete? Should she get another chance, another season? Is she a friend of that should be given a second chance? Because, they've discarded other friends of that had huge potential. Just saying. Of course, I'm talking about me. Anyway, all right, you guys, listen, I'm really curious about your, John. I'm really curious about your opinions on Danna Bui-Negrete and, the gossip in this video. So let me know, okay? Big kiss. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification button so Mama can eat. Okay. Bye, you guys.